we have an exclusive sit-down interview with the new head coach of the Indiana Fever. She was the 2023 WNBA Coach of the Year, an NCAA champion, a baller herself, a WNBA champion, and my former broadcasting teammate who worked with Stephanie White.
What's going on? How are you?
Stephanie White entered the Indiana Fever locker room with a clear purpose: to guide a young, talented team toward becoming a true championship contender. Her first step was to design a powerful strategy focused on advancing Caitlin Clark's skills to a level that would leave opponents unable to keep up.
Looking up all of your history and stories, and I'm like, this is a real indie gal. Like, born in Indiana, you played your college ball in Indiana at Purdue, you played for the Fever in the WNBA along other stops. In coaching, you actually were an assistant coach with the Fever, and now here you are, back as the head coach of the Indiana Fever.
Behind the scenes, Stephanie White has been developing a groundbreaking system designed to unlock the full potential of Clark, Boston, and Mitchell like never before. The strategic insights she recently shared reveal exactly how she plans to shake up the WNBA and accelerate Indiana's path to success. This isn't just a rebuild, it's a complete transformation. So, what exactly is White's new approach? And how does it stand far apart from the foundation former coach Christy Sides left behind? If you're excited for the Fever season, drop champions in the comments. Let's get it started.
You've got an interesting roster that you're heading into as the head coach, and we focus in on the now for the Indiana Fever. It's not a unique locker room. It is undoubtedly super talented, but it's such a mashup of unique personalities, and I'll also say established storylines for each of these players. There aren't some players that haven't figured out what they're about, or the storyline hasn't been created for them in the W. And you've got all of this coming into your locker room. So, season's on the way. What are going to be your first priorities, maybe even exercises in creating common ground and meshing this?
When Stephanie White came back to Indiana, she didn't just return with a game plan. She brought the blueprint for building a basketball dynasty. Just a few months into her leadership, the early framework of her vision is taking shape, and it's clear her strategy goes far beyond simply gathering talented players.
One of the early conversations, for us as a coaching staff, has just been about connection and building a relationship, and approaching the players who were in that locker room a year ago in hey, what is it that you want to accomplish? What is it that we can help you? You don't know what you don't know, right? And most of those guys are pretty young, certainly pretty young in terms of playoff experience. And then approaching them in sort of a self-scout way, this is what we would do to you when we played you.
The Fever's 20-20 record last season might seem solid at first glance, but those who closely followed their matchups against the league's top teams saw a different story. It was clear that another level needed to be reached. Christy Sides and the supporting roster struggled to keep pace with championship caliber teams like New York and Las Vegas. The differences in execution and defensive unity were impossible to ignore. Even with the standout talents like Clark, Mitchell, Boston, and Hull, it wasn't enough. Stephanie White recognized that only a complete system transformation could bridge that gap.
All of those players are going to help us on the defensive end of the floor, which has been our greatest deficiency. And so I think that having veteran players who understand what it is to be a part of this organization, who are not afraid of all of the things that come with being a part of the Indiana Fever, who ultimately, at the end of the day, are great teammates, great people, and just want to win.
What's truly fascinating is Stephanie White's sharp focus on defense as the foundation for championship success. Even while fans are captivated by Caitlin Clark's deep three-pointers, Kelsey Mitchell's incredible scoring, Aaliyah Boston's powerful post play, and Lexi Hull's precision from beyond the arc, White understands a hard truth. Offensive highlights alone won't deliver championships to Indianapolis. Last season, the Fever gave up 82.2 points per game, placing them in the lower half of the league. Building a championship identity starts with defensive stops, not just dazzling plays on offense.
It was really important who we added in free agency and in the offseason, who we already had. I mean, look, our big three with Caitlin and Kelsey and Aaliyah, like you got to have certain kinds of vets that fit around them. That number one, fill the gaps that we need in our lineups, in our rosters. But number two, have accomplished multiple things that can lead them in a way that they haven't been led before. But also understand where they fit in the scope of what the Indiana Fever is about now and what we're about in the future, and that give us a chance to compete for champions.
The Fever's recent roster moves clearly showcase Stephanie White's strategic vision. Donna Bonner wasn't brought in just for her scoring ability. She embodies what White describes as a mother hen presence, fiercely competitive on the court, while providing steady leadership and support to the team's young core.
Donna Bonner, who, again, winner, right, has won every level, competed and won for a championship in Phoenix, competed for championships with us in Connecticut. Versatility, which is critical for our system and what we want. Ultra competitive, but also like a mother hen, right? So can be that one that can like push you and challenge you, but also like embrace you and hug you and help you understand all the things that go along with the ups and downs and the long season that we have, this sprint marathon of a season.
Tasha, Howard isn't just another presence in the paint. She's a veteran who knows exactly what it takes to meet championship standards. Shaped by her experience with Seattle's title-winning teams.
You think about bringing in Natasha Howard, who was drafted by the Indiana Fever when I was an assistant coach, was traded by the Indiana Fever when I was the head coach, just went out and won multiple championships after that,
Got winners.
Absolutely. To continue to become one of the greatest players in the history of our league, played every different kind of role. Is soft-spoken, so when she speaks, you listen because it matters, right? Gives us a little bit different look at that position than we've had before.
These veterans aren't just random signings. They're carefully selected pieces designed to perfectly complement Clark's playmaking, Boston's dominance inside, and Mitchell's scoring firepower. Stephanie White isn't building a team of isolated stars. She's creating a connected unit where every player's strengths elevate the whole.
Sophie Cunningham, toughness, right?
Tough.
Winner, ability to play multiple positions, has played with tough competitors. I mean, was essentially mentored by the all-time greatest in Diana Taurasi, right? So now she can be that mentor. She can be that player who comes in and brings us that toughness and that swag, yet keeps our versatility. Can knock down shots, but shot making is so important, for us, and take some pressure off of our big three because all of these other guys can do their own thing, right? But when they fit with what we have, I think it makes us really, really dangerous.